Thank you for staying with us here on THV 11 Plus. For Arkansas News Now, I'm Ashley King alongside meteorologist Simone Thomas. She's bringing us all kinds of sunshine this week.
Doing my best. I know we're doing a little up and down with the temperature, so people maybe that deal with different allergies or respiratory illnesses this time of year, because the seasons can't make their mind up. We're doing a little bit more of that this week, but at least it looks pretty while we deal with this temperature roller coaster. A few high-level clouds up there, otherwise mainly sunny skies for your afternoon. Looking at visible satellite, you could pick up a few of those wispy high-level clouds, but temperatures right now right around what's considered the norm for this time of year. 50 degrees is our average high in Little Rock in middle January, so we're going to get a little bit warmer than the average this afternoon. A lot of our neighbors in the middle to upper 40s. We do have a few places in the lower 50s like Hot Springs and Conway, up to 52 right now. Similar story in Batesville. To our north, Harrison is a warm spot pushing 60 degrees. We'll see a few more places getting close to the 60-degree mark by this afternoon as we warm up a few more degrees between now and sunset. Here's what we're looking across the state though. So a few neighbors in the lower 60s, but generally expecting some middle to upper 50s. We talk more about the rest of the week and your 7-day outlook, so make sure you stick around.
And developing this afternoon, a suspect is in custody after a fire badly damaged the largest synagogue in Mississippi over the weekend. The temple is the only synagogue in the city of Jackson. Jason Allen is there with more on the investigation.
Broken windows reveal scorched Torahs, charred bookcases, and destroyed offices inside Jackson, Mississippi's Beth Israel congregation after a fire tore through the synagogue early Saturday morning.
The city of Jackson is standing with this community, so attack against the synagogue is an attack against all of us.
Investigators said the fire pattern and video surveillance pointed to arson. No members or firefighters were hurt, but a suspect sustained non-life-threatening burns and was arrested while at the hospital. The fire department told CBS News it is partnering with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives and the FBI, which is investigating the possibility of a hate crime. This is not the first time the 160-year-old synagogue has been targeted. The temple was bombed by KKK members in 1967. In a statement, the president of Beth Israel congregation said, "We are devastated, but ready to rebuild," adding that services will continue at other locations during the process.
The investigation here is still ongoing. This comes amid an uptick in anti-Semitic crimes nationwide. FBI data released last year showed it was a record year for anti-Jewish crimes. Jason Allen, CBS News in Jackson, Mississippi.
Meanwhile, in Minnesota, there are new confrontations between protesters and immigration agents. Over the weekend, demonstrators took to the streets in multiple cities to protest the deadly encounter between an ICE agent and Minneapolis resident Renee Good. Trump administration officials have claimed Good intended to ram ICE agent Jonathan Rice with her car before he shot and killed her last week. In a statement released last night, Renee Good's family said in part, quote, "We all already miss her more than words could ever express." An Arkansas man is free after spending more than 3 decades in prison for a crime he says he did not commit. Charlie Vaughn is from Dallas County near Fordyce. His case has been under scrutiny for years. In 1988, Vaughn was convicted in the murder and rape of 81-year-old Myrtle Holmes. But advocates later raised serious questions about his confession, pointing to his intellectual disability. About a decade ago, Reginald Earle, who had been convicted as an accomplice, confessed to committing the crime alone. DNA testing also indicated Vaughn was not responsible. Still, even after other defendants connected to the case won their freedom in 2018, procedural issues kept Vaughn locked up. Finally, last Friday, Vaughn walked out of prison after accepting a new plea deal, ending a life sentence. After repeated denials for clemency from 3 different Arkansas governors, Dallas County Prosecutor Jeff Rogers offered Vaughn a new deal. Rogers gave this statement saying as part of the deal, Vaughn's 429 months in prison constitute time served and that the victim's family fully supports the decision. Jalen Smith, the young mayor of Earle, Arkansas, is responding to accusations that he had inappropriate contact with a minor. As state police investigators are looking into those allegations, Smith sent us a statement saying in part that those allegations are false and that he believes the truth will stand on its own in time. He went on to say that he has been advised to not speak on the allegations. A prominent Arkansas business leader has died in an apparent accident. Neighbors found Saracen Casino CFO Jim Burns trapped beneath a golf cart this past Thursday at the Pine Bluff Country Club. A neighbor tried CPR until first responders arrived. Doctors pronounced him dead at an area hospital a short time later. Police say the case remains under investigation. And one of the winningest coaches in Harding football is stepping away as the head man. THV 11's Nick Luttrell spoke with Paul Simmons on his new role within the program and the new era for the Bisons.
For 9 years, Paul Simmons led Harding football as its head coach. This week, it was announced that would be changing.
I really can't believe that I have this opportunity to serve the program just in a different way.
That new way for Simmons is a new role as Harding football's general manager. Simmons says he knew it was time for a change back in November when he was watching his son Wyatt play football.
We were waiting to play Arkansas Tech. Arkansas and LSU kicked off. I'm watching the game, and there was a block punt for a touchdown, and Coach Moat said, "That was Wyatt. That was Wyatt. Wyatt blocked the punt."
Caleb Wooden and Wyatt Simmons were in there, and it's Wooden who scores 15.
And it really occurred to me that, when that game ended, he's by himself, and nobody from his family was there. I want to always choose family.
So as Simmons steps aside just a bit, that leaves his old job as head coach into the hands of defensive coordinator Roddy Moat.
My father-in-law played on the first football team at Harding in 1959. I've got an uncle that played. I played here. I've got 3 brother-in-laws that played here. My wife was a cheerleader here. My sister-in-law was a cheerleader here, so here I am. I'm extremely honored and privileged to be chosen to do it. And even though my role changes, the purpose really doesn't, and that's to honor God.
Moat knows the program well, and without a doubt, has got the stamp of approval from Coach Simmons.
The guy's been the best Division II D coordinator in the country for his entire time here, and what he's done has been unbelievable. And I'm telling you right now, I promise you our young men are bad excited about playing for Roddy Moat.
So while change is never easy, this is one that only should benefit the people of a program coming off a national title appearance. In Searcy, Nick Luttrell, THV 11 Sports.
Now this is a story. Meet the nearly 13-pound baby who made a Texas Christmas even bigger and brought a family joy after a year of hardship. It's coming up next.
And pretty much all of the states seeing a rainfall deficit from those seasonal averages, with drought conditions starting to grow as well. We'll be talking about when or if we're going to get some rain this week in your 7-day outlook. That's coming up in 4 minutes.
Well, you've no doubt heard the saying, everything's bigger in Texas. And for one family, it's true, at least for the newest member of their family, a baby born at nearly 13 pounds. Adriana de Alba shows us.
And here he is.
Life is full of surprises.
That's just wild.
Marky Smith's baby delivery was expected.
My favorite one is his little wrist roll right here.
But the way the birth room erupted was not.
Everybody, the whole room just was like, oh my God, like what? And they pulled the curtain down and he was just massive.
Her giant baby boy, born in Arlington, weighing in at nearly 13 pounds.
Just rolls for days. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. Like, he looks like the Michelin Man.
His pre-picked name, Canyon, turned out to be the perfect fit.
He's my chunky boy.
He now goes by Grand Canyon.
I had gestational diabetes. You're to be expected to have a larger baby, but my last 2 were 8.5 both. So I was expecting maybe a 10-pound baby, but definitely not a 12-pound baby.
12 pounds and 10.5 ounces to be exact.
And there's his fat rolls. He's a good boy.
And perfectly healthy.
He's 3 weeks old, wearing 3-month-old clothes.
A big bundle of joy, arriving via C-section just days before Christmas, during a time the Earle mom needed him most.
God blessed me with this baby, and I was going through some hardships last year.
There was the loss of her mom and a bad breakup, but the love around Canyon's arrival marks a new day.
Literally, he saved my life.
A Texas-sized baby, she says,
Like, who has a 13-pound baby? Like, what?
was a Christmas miracle.
I just don't understand. I didn't think babies got this big.
Well, apparently they do. Not often.
I'm always so in awe of what women's bodies are able to do to bring life into the world. Oh, that's such a healthy baby.
13 pounds wearing, 3 weeks old wearing 3-month clothing.
So I'm sure
it's
everybody
crazy.
that bought newborn clothing.
Right, skipped right on past that.
But that's so, I'm interested to see as the baby grows. Obviously we don't get to know, but how tall he ends up being eventually.
Yeah.
But shifting gears to the forecast, a nice day. Maybe if she was in Arkansas to take the baby on the evening stroll or afternoon stroll, but maybe you can as well. We've got some sunshine thanks to high pressure dominating the forecast. That area of high pressure just off to our southeast over northern Mississippi, that's helping bring a southerly wind into the state. And we're also seeing mainly clear skies. We do have a few high-level clouds across some of central and southern Arkansas, but mainly sunny for the state as a whole. Now through the afternoon and week ahead, we do have a bit of a temperature roller coaster in effect. We're starting high, and then we'll take a little dip around the middle part of the week, and then we'll rebound a little bit to finish the week before this coming weekend looks cooler. You'll see how that translates in a second. As the cold front's responsible for the up and down move through, some light opportunities for rain that really won't get to make much dent in our drought conditions and burn bans that we're seeing added by the minutes at this point. So middle to upper 50s on the board today, likely getting into the 60s tomorrow. Some middle 60s could be on the board Wednesday. As a cold front starts to approach, we could at least get up to the upper 50s, but we're going to feel the effects of that front into Thursday, where Thursday's highs are nearly 20 degrees cooler than what we're tracking for Tuesday. Friday, a little bit closer to what's considered the norm, but another cold front sweeps through to push us back into the 40s, and even some of our neighbors in northern Arkansas staying confined to the 30s through the weekend. Now, I mentioned as these fronts move through, very light chances for rain. It does look like on Wednesday we could pick up on some showers, primarily Wednesday morning. This is right at midnight as that front is starting to approach our northern border. Looks like through the morning and early afternoon we could see some stray showers primarily across the northeastern half of the state, but that colder, drier air starting to move in here by Thursday morning, where we're likely going to start out in the 20s. Now, as far as how much rain we're going to get, well, it really just looks like trace amounts across some of central Arkansas and areas north and east. So really not looking to make any type of dent in our drought conditions. And since our update earlier in the hour, we got a new burn ban on the board. So now 14 counties with burn bans. The latest burn ban came from Lafayette County, but likely over the coming days we will see more added as we continue to go with not much rainfall in the forecast. But the silver lining, we're going to have some sunshine. Try to take advantage of that, especially this afternoon. You can get out and maybe go on a walk as temperatures climb to the middle and upper 50s. Looking to see some 60s on the board tomorrow and even Wednesday with a light shower possible. Still looking to get up to the upper 50s. That front sweeps through and makes for a colder Thursday. Likely on Friday, waking up just below the freezing mark, but could see an afternoon in the 50s. But that next cold front is going to push through and push us back into the 40s for the weekend ahead, with partly sunny to mostly sunny skies.
The stories you see here are stories that would still be untold.
I'm Martha Whitman.
My name is Victoria Antoinette Rose.
My name is Joanne Malone.
Untold if it weren't for a group of Wheaton High School students.
I came to Wheaton High School in 1989.
This teenage film crew is part of a group called Village Reels. They crisscross Montgomery County, Maryland, documenting ordinary lives. Today, that's teacher David Schaffner.
When they approached you with this idea of participating in this documentary,
the answer was no. I don't really want to do it.
As a history teacher, David never thought anyone would be interested in his story.
This is Docs in Progress's effort
to keep history alive.
Barbara Valentino is CEO of the nonprofit Docs in Progress, which organizes Village Reels.
It was really, how do we get the generations together? And frankly, this is my pet project.
The group teaches students like these the fundamentals of filmmaking. Those students are then tasked with finding a subject and sharing their story.
It makes it a lot more real. It's like taking a microscope and like zooming in.
Gives me like a whole new perspective on like life in general.
A lot of stories and other people's stories, we can kind of always relate those to our lives.
The hope is telling stories of different generations helps create different perspectives.
We have one, John Wilkinson, who spent his entire time in Montgomery County public schools as a blind student.
What I remember is that my parents, they seemed to never regret having a blind child.
A former nun who was a protester.
My little claim to fame was to be the first nun in the United States to commit a federal felony and be prosecuted for it.
A gentleman, Larry Hastings, who grew up on a tobacco farm.
You start at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning and you work till 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
And these are stories that they're everybody's neighbor and nobody knows. And it's important that they live.
That's the most important part, because isn't that what we really identify with when we think about history? Together we can learn something.
Learn that history goes beyond a textbook and from the lives of those without fancy titles.
And we all have a story to tell.
Even a high school history teacher.
Good stories have good characters, and history has a lot of good characters.
In Silver Spring, Maryland, Sean Martinelli, WUSA 9.
Well, the Hoop Hogs were on the wrong end of a blowout loss on Saturday against Auburn, but what does the head hog John Calipari have to say about his team's disappointing performance? We will tell you that next in sports.
Bentonville High School students have created a unique device that helps nonverbal individuals with autism communicate. This project combines compassion with technology. Students from Bentonville High School, alongside Autism Involves Me, have created a device designed to support nonverbal individuals. Using AI and sensors, the device identifies changes in stress levels to help caregivers and educators better understand when support may be needed.
And how this started is that we realized that everyone experienced stress. And as we realized that, we didn't want to communicate to everyone, hey, I'm stressed today.
The device will attach to phones or tablets and display a color that indicates emotional state. Red for stressed, green for calm, and yellow for caution.
Amazing concept of what they're working on.
So we were going to have a pop socket attached to these devices, and what the pop socket does is it has two sensors. It has a temperature and humidity sensor.
Students say it's a way to use technology to help their fellow classmates who communicate differently.
AI is rapidly advancing and we can just use it for many different projects for good. My role was training and maintaining the AI model on the stress lysis CSV dataset to detect stress levels based on the input of the temperature and humidity sensor.
And autism advocates say the best part is it promotes inclusion.
We're just so excited to see a group of young people like this that are interested in inclusion and helping their fellow students at school and beyond that into the workforce.
Their project is already catching attention and they hope to expand to local businesses soon. In Bentonville, covering news where you live, Laura Castleman, 5 News.
Very neat. These kids are always surprising me and just so impressive.
Yeah, I'm very optimistic of what the future generations are bringing. They have so many resources at their hands.
And so many great ideas.
Yeah,
very creative.
So many bright ideas.
Right.
Definitely looking forward to the future.
Okay, speaking of bright, the sun has been very bright today.
Yeah, nice sunny day out there. And if you are maybe not a fan of 50s today, tomorrow looking to be fairly similar, but with some 60s involved. Likely our warmest Wednesday of the week. We are doing a little bit of an up and down through the rest of the week, but still so much sunshine in the forecast, a stray shower possible Wednesday, otherwise mainly dry for the work week.
It's pretty nice. Today is average, right, for this time of year?
Pretty average, slightly above average for this time of year, right in the ballpark.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Simone, and thank you for watching us here on Arkansas News Now. And keep it on THV 11 Plus. We've got some more great content coming up.